Welcome to your tutorial on how to use Diigo to annotate websites. You want to make sure you start today by using Google Chrome. So this one right here. The directions that I give you will not work with Firefox or Internet Explorer, so please make sure that you're using Chrome to be able to follow these directions correctly. Once you've opened Chrome, you're going to want to go to Diigo.com, and notice that Diigo has two I's there, D-I-I-G-O. And you're going to sign in to Diigo. Now before you go any further, you need to make sure that your teacher has given you your sign-in information, or if you already had that from a previous project, that you know how to sign in. Remember that the first time you ever sign into Diigo, you're going to sign in with kind of a random username and password that your teacher needs to provide to you. And after that point, you'll change in your settings how you sign in, which I'll show you really quickly when we get in. So as we're signing in, remember that Diigo is a social bookmarking app that allows you to work with the web the way that you would work with paper if you were annotating in a book or something like that. So when you first log in, you'll probably see this little tutorial screen, but since you are watching a tutorial, you can hit skip right up here. And very quickly, if you need to change your username and password because this is the first time that you logged into Diigo, you do that by coming up to your username here and clicking Settings. And you can change your username right here by clicking Change Username. And you can change your password right here by clicking Change Password. And my suggestion to you is that you use your Campbell County username and your Campbell County password, CCS, and your lunch number. So I'm going to go on back to our home page here, and remember that there are different areas in Diigo that you can use. Today's tutorial is going to show you how to use the My Library button a little bit. My Library is where any websites that you save to Diigo are stored. You probably don't have quite as many websites as I do because I've used this for several projects, but yours will eventually look like this. And if you notice, some of these websites have these color-coded pieces of information underneath, and those are actually annotations that I took from those websites, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. The next thing we need to do after we've gotten logged into Diigo is we need to get our Diigo button installed. And mine's already installed, but I need to show you how to do that. So you're going to open a new tab, and you're going to type in Diigo Chrome extension. Again, directions only work in Chrome. It's different in Firefox and in Internet Explorer. If you type in Diigo Chrome extension, the first option that's going to pop up for you is the Diigo Web Collector Capture and Annotate Chrome Web Store. We're going to click on that. And it's going to bring you to this screen. You're going to have a blue button right here because you have not added yours to Chrome yet. So go ahead and click that blue button, and it'll probably ask you, are you sure you want to do this? And you want to say yes. And you'll know that it's done when you have the button pop up here at the top and when your button turns green right here as well. As soon as those things happen, you can go ahead and exit out of this tab. So we're now ready to use our Diigo button to be able to save a website and then annotate on top of it. So I'm going to just use the example of finding a current event. So maybe my teacher has asked me to do an AOW or something. So I'm going to go to the New York Times to find myself an article. And since I'm recording this during the height of March Madness, I'm going to go ahead and click on the sports section of the New York Times to see how the Sweet 16 went, the start of it last night. And I'm going to choose this article here. Okay, so once you have an article that you would like to use, because I think that I would like to read this one and use it for my AOW, you're going to first need to save the article to Diigo, and that's where the button comes into play. When you click this button, the first time you click it, this is going to happen. It's going to open a new tab, and it's going to tell you about the extension. You're just going to exit out of that and go back to your article. You're going to click the button again, and you're going to click the first thing that says Save Bookmark. Now when you're in this screen right here, you have a few options. The first thing you can do is you can add tags, kind of like hashtags on Twitter or Instagram. So maybe I want to tag this as AOW, so I remember. You can separate your tags with commas, so maybe I want to make my next tag Sweet 16, and maybe I want to make my next one college basketball. Notice that if I have more than one word, just like on Twitter or Instagram, I keep those together. I do not need to put the hashtag there. And you are welcome to come up with as cute of a tag as you want to. Unless you're sharing it socially though, only you will see it. You do have an option here to add to an outliner, but I'm not going over outliners in this tutorial, so watch the outliner tutorial if you have questions about that. And you can also share it to a group if you're within a group. I'm not going to share this because I just want to keep this for myself. So I'm going to hit save. Once I hit save, you'll see that this little menu pops up. If that doesn't pop up for you, don't stress out about it because you can still do the same things without that menu popping up. The other thing that you might notice is if you go back to your Diigo library, I now have that website right here in my library. So I can get back to it, I can see my tags, all that good stuff. So let's talk about annotating now. When you get down to your article, or whatever you're reading, annotating is super easy. All you do is click and drag the mouse to choose a section of text that you would like to annotate. When you let go of the mouse, you'll see that this little menu pops up right here. And the first thing looks like a marker or a highlighter, and this is where you're going to highlight any text that you want. And you have 4 color options. So if you have certain questions or something you're looking for, you can color code those. So maybe this is going to be green for me. And if I just do this, I've essentially quoted this part because I'm just taking straight out of the text, not doing anything else with it. I can also, though, if I put my mouse right over top of this, see that I have the option to add a sticky note. And this is exactly the way you would add a post-it note to your paper copy. You click it, and then you can write in any annotations that you have. This proves how good this team could be. Once you click Save, you'll notice that you now have a little sticky note that you can put your mouse over top of to see your annotation. And from here you can delete it if you want to or let it be. When you go back to your Diigo library, notice that your annotation now shows up. And 2 things show up if you added a sticky note. The original text, what you highlighted, as well as whatever annotation that you added. From here you can do a couple of things. So you can just view your annotations in this screen. You can also, if your teacher's asking you to turn those annotations in for any reason, if you see this little buttons right here that's got like 3 dots, if you click that, you can actually click Email To, and what it's going to send after you put your teacher's email address in is the article title as well as your annotations. And notice that it does the same thing, what you actually highlighted from the original text as well as your annotation from your sticky note. And you just hit send, and that's a way to submit your annotations if you need to do that. So that is simply how to use Diigo to annotate a website. Check out another tutorial if you would like to know how to use the outliner feature as well. Thank you.